Hi there. My name is Matt Hames, and I'm the Associate Vice President for Digital and Social Strategy at 3 Enrollment Marketing. As part of my role here at 3, I make a lot of presentations, both to our partner institutions and to institutions that don't currently work with us. The other day, I made a couple of presentations, one to a partner institution that was 2 hours long, and then a half an hour presentation to a possible partner institution. So I make a lot of presentations both in person and online. Both of these matter to making either a presentation in person or online. There's a lot of things that come to a presentation that are really super important, like decent lighting, a good sound. If you don't have good sound, you don't have a good presentation. So if your sound is tinny or echoey, then invest in a microphone. A little microphone can help. So those are kind of like the blocking and tackling of presenting. But I'm going to give you 3 tips that I think about every time I make a presentation. So here we go. The first is you're the star. Your slides are not. If there is more than 15 words on a slide, then people have to decide who the star is. Is it the slide and should I read them? Or is it the person and should I listen to them? People cannot do both. They cannot read an essay and listen to you. They just can't. They have to choose one or the other. Now, when you put a lot of words on a slide, what ends up happening is that type A personalities tend to read the slides and then go, oh, I understand what he's going to say, so I can check my email. And they just zone out. You lose them. In order to keep people's attention, it is important that you direct them to the places on the slide that you want them to look at. If you plan to put lots of things on a slide, then please make sure you have arrows or you direct people to where you want them to go. Step things on. Don't put everything on at once and say, I'm going to talk about all of these things, because people are going to read ahead and they're not going to listen to you. So remember, they signed up to listen to you, not to watch slides. You're here to listen to what I have to say, not read what my slides have to say. Number 2, you got to make eye contact. You got to talk to the camera. See, now if I talk to you like this and I say, hey, you should really think about this idea that I have, what you're going to do, what you're going to think about is that, why isn't he making eye contact? Especially if I go something like this. I have this really important idea that I'm going to tell you about the search engine results page. You're going to feel weird. It feels weird when people don't look at us in the eye. That means that I currently have to stare at a little green dot. When I make a 2-hour presentation, I spend most of it staring at the little green dot. Sure, I'll sometimes say, my big screen is over here. So I am going to turn and look at my big screen, and I'm not going to look at you in the eye right now. But when I really want to make a point, I look at them in the eye. So talk to the camera as much as you possibly can. I have a setup so that the camera is about eye length. My laptop is currently sitting on a box that lifts up my camera so that I'm at eye length, that I'm sort of at the camera and me are basically the same. If you go like this and you're kind of a hero, this is going to be uncomfortable for everybody as well. So make sure that the camera is about at eye level and that you're talking into it as much as you possibly can. And number 3 is stand up. When people sit, they are boring. That is just true. That is objectively true. Boring people sit, or people who sit are boring. You're not boring. You're much more interesting when you stand. It's called stand-up comedy. People stand up. It's true that most performers stand almost all the time and sit occasionally when they want to create an intimate moment. Intimate moments are great. You can create intimate moments in questions. You can sit down when it's time for questions. That is an important time for intimacy. But when you're actually delivering an idea, you need to stand. Standing allows you to use your hands more. If I sit, my hands just go like this and they sit on the table and I'm less motionless and I'm less interesting because I'm using my hands a lot less when I sit. I'm using my body a lot less. I can't like lean in when I'm sitting down necessarily. It's weird. Also, sitting, it's hard to be far away from the camera when you sit. You do not want your head to take up the whole camera. That is also awkward. So you want a little bit of space, and you want to stand, and you want to be interesting. The camera steals a bunch of our passion. Sitting steals all of it. It's really, really hard to be passionate when you're sitting. It is a lot easier to be passionate when you're standing. So in closing, 3 tips. You're the star. Talk into the camera. And if you can, stand. When you stand, your content will be more interesting. And this is for a meeting, for a presentation, for anything. If you are presenting to people in person, stand. And don't be landlocked behind a podium if you can help it. Walk around, move around, use the space. You can't walk around and move around and use the space when you're talking on Zoom, but you can kind of shift and you can like lean in and you can kind of move a little bit. It's a lot tougher, I'm aware, but using these 3 tips, I think you will make much more interesting presentations. So thank you. For more tips like this, follow me. You're probably following me and that's why you saw this. But follow me anyway, and follow LinkedIn, follow 3 Enrollment Marketing on LinkedIn. The experts at 3E have so much to say about the state of higher education marketing and how we can help higher education marketing. So follow us for insights from our difference makers on 3E. In the description below, I'll put a link to 3 Enrollment Marketing's LinkedIn company page. Talk to you soon, and I hope your presentations go really, really well. Thanks, and bye.